A letter penned by Edward VIII to his mother in the hours after he abdicated the throne has been seen for the first time in decades by Express.co.uk. In it, the former monarch speaks of how he cried when telling his parents of his decision and his torment in coming to terms with the inevitable. In the emotional letter to his mother, Mary of Teck, Edward also throws his support behind his younger brother and then future king, George VI, who he refers to as Bertie, to whom he left the crown and the throne as Papa left it, on the same high level it has maintained for so many centuries. The incredible note was unearthed by royal expert and investigator Andrew Loney, the author behind Traitor King, The Scandalous Exile of the Duke and Duchess of Windsor. The letter serves to demonstrate a surprising warmth between the former monarch and his family, something so rarely seen publicly. Edward's abdication to marry the divorcee Wallis Simpson in 1936 plunged the nation into one of its biggest ever constitutional crises and altered the course of history. In bowing out of the role decreed by birth, the crown went to his younger brother, Albert, forcing him to take over from his older sibling just 326 days into his reign. He assumed the title King George VI and served until his death in 1952, whereby his daughter, the late Queen Elizabeth II, took the crown. Unseen for some 86 years, the letter was uncovered by Mr. Loney from Windsor Castle's Royal Archives, which holds British monarchy documents from the past 250 years. Among the items hidden in vaults at the castle include the personal and official correspondence of monarchs from George III, 1760 to 1820, onwards, as well as administrative records of the departments of the royal household. For Mr. Loney, the recovery of documents such as this unique letter, dated December 11, 1936, from Boulogne in France, and therefore written barely hours after he went into exile after abandoning his post as king that same day, offers an insight into the relationships held between those in the world's most famous family, as well as the inner workings of Edward's mind on that fateful day. Mr. Loney told Express.co.uk the notes humanize the drama, likening it to the tributes paid following the Queen's death in September. He noted how Elizabeth II was always very serious in public, but we could see there was actually a lot more going on behind the scenes after she died. This is exactly the same. He noted that while in public you would often see the likes of Edward and Mary put on a brave face, ultimately what can be felt in the letters show the real impact on a son who feels he has let down his family, as well as letting down his country. And for Mary, Mr. Loney added, the reader can sense a mother who is torn between her loyalties to the crown and the love of her son. Edward's grief is clear throughout the 8-page handwritten letter. The ex-monarch begins by telling his mother he wanted to thank her for all your understanding throughout these last trying days, and especially for your sweetness to me last night. The royal described how he and Mary spent time together, being able to bring dear Papa into our talk before he abdicated the following day. On his father, King George V, he continued, we were different in many ways, and yet you know how devoted I was to him, and I cried when you said he was human. It would have been hard for him to understand what I have done, for you have done so.